Bonjour. So today we are talking about demonstrative adjectives, and yes, it is pronounced demonstrative. Okay, now, just a reminder, an adjective in any language is something that describes a noun. Okay, now the demonstrative adjectives, are going to be translated as this or that, or these or those, because we are demonstrating which one we are talking about. Okay, so which jacket do you like? Ooh, I like this jacket. Which shoes are you going to wear? I'm going to wear those shoes. Okay, so we're demonstrating which ones we are talking about. Now, because we're learning this within the clothing unit, I do usually use a lot of examples from the clothing, but it can be anything. If I want to say this book, this boy, that boy, this girl, this class, that teacher, whoever, okay, it can be any of that. But like I said, because we're learning it in the context of clothing, like I said, a lot of my examples usually come from this. Okay, now what are they in French? So again, if you need to write these down, take notes, stop it, start it, do whatever you have to do for this video to get these in your notes and to understand them. Okay, first things first, in French, the demonstrative adjectives are, let's do them. I'll give you one at a time, and then we'll give an example, and then I'll give the next one. So the first one is ce. Now, ce is for when you are saying masculine singular, okay? And it's whatever that thing is. So, for example, if I say j'aime ce blouson, I am saying I like this jacket or I like that jacket. Once again, we are using ce because this word here is masculine, okay? So that is why we are choosing to use ce. It has nothing to do with who I am. The next one is going to be set, C-E-T. Now, this one's slightly weird, okay, because it's still masculine, but this is when that next word is a vowel or an H or any other sort of, like an E might work as well, although, I'm sorry, not an E, an I, okay? But again, there's not too many words in French that start with Y, okay? But let's give an example. So, il va acheter cet ordinateur. Now, we know from our few lessons ago when we learned ordinateur, ordinateur is also masculine, but because this word starts with a vowel, that's why we have to use set, because it's all sound, guys. If we can't say ce with ordinateur, because then it becomes like s'ordinateur. Okay, so again, just to make it smoother, we're going to use the set ordinateur, C-E-T, because that word starts with a vowel. Next, set. Now, this one sounds exactly like the C-E-T, but this one's for feminine. So C-E-T-T-E is the feminine singular. So, nous préférons cette robe. We prefer this dress. Okay, so again, it is C-E-T-T-E because the word robe is feminine. Okay, next, say. So far we have se, set, say. Got it? Se, set, say. Now, the say, as you can see here, is going to be when whatever we're talking about is plural. So, tu aimes ces sandales? Tu aimes ces sandales? Do you like these sandals? Now, again, with ces sandales, we don't have to worry about whether it's masculine or feminine. It is feminine, but we don't have to worry about them because they are plural. So, if something is plural when we're using these, we don't have to worry about gender. It's going to be say, C-E-S. Okay? So again, se, set, and say. Se, masculine singular, set with the CET, masculine before a vowel or an H, CETTE is the feminine singular, and then say is going to be the plural. Now, we do run into a problem with these because in French, we only have one way to say this or that, or these or those. So we have no way of knowing if I want to say, oh, I like this jacket or I like that jacket. In English, we have a few different words for it. We have this and that. But in French, it's only one. That's se, set, say. Okay, so what we do then is we clarify this or that by adding a si or a la to the end of the noun. Okay, and I do have a few examples for this. So we clarify adding si, which could be this one here, and la is like that one over there. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Or we can also clarify by adding another adjective like a color or a nationality, or any other sort of adjective like big, little, small, whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some examples. So I can say, je préfère cette robe-ci à cette robe-là. Okay, cette robe-ci à cette robe-là. I prefer this dress here to that dress there. Okay, so notice we are still using set because robe is feminine, and I should have made this yellow as well. Okay, is feminine as well. So that is why we're using set on both of these. But you can see here we are adding this C and the la to say I prefer this dress to that dress. So when we put a C on the end of something, and notice where it's going in the sentence, it's going after dress, like I prefer this dress here, okay, to that dress there. So the C in the law is what's going to help us when we go to translate it or understand it to say this and that. All right, let's look at another one. Ils aiment ces restaurants-ci, pas ces restaurants-là. So now we're talking about multiple restaurants, so that's why we're using ces, okay? And then restaurant is plural. Well, in this case, they are masculine. It really doesn't matter, but it's they prefer these restaurants, not those restaurants, because we're adding on that C and the la. Now, once again, we can add another adjective. If we want to say something like they prefer French restaurants to Italian restaurants, or they prefer cheaper restaurants to more expensive restaurants, because more expensive restaurants obviously cost more money, or something like that. You don't have to use C and la, but you can add, like I said, any sort of other adjective if you want. Now, this next one, I am going to use not the C and the la, but I'm going to use a color instead. So if I'm going to say, elle achète ce vélo rouge, pas ce vélo bleu. She's buying this red bike, not this blue bike. Okay, so we're still using ce on this because we're talking about vélo, and vélo's masculine. But instead of the C and the la, I'm going to go ahead and use an adjective. Okay, and that's about it. All right, so ce, set, say, again, these are our demonstrative adjectives because this is when we are demonstrating which ones we are talking about. So this, that, these, those, it matters what that thing is, whether it's masculine or feminine or plural. And then again, to differentiate between this one and that one, then we're going to add a C or a la to the end of the noun, or again, we could just add an adjective. Okay, so if you do need any help on this, if you need to watch this video, go ahead. Or if you need to ask me a question, go ahead and reach out.